TACOS broadcast is brought to you by Promo Journal, a division of Promo Corner. Promo Journal provides fresh, daily content from industry thought leaders, blogs, videos, product features, and live content all in one convenient location. Weekly advertising opportunities are available. Contact sales at promocorner.com to get your message seen.
All right, everybody. Happy Taco Tuesday. Here we are. You are watching Tacos Now with Jay and Jeff. We have a fantastic show set up for you today. You are watching it here over at Promo Corner, or maybe you're watching it over at one of our other streams that we've got it going on. You can also catch a recorded version of this that is rebroadcast on Thursdays over at promocorner.com under the Promo Journal tab, and also over at freepromotips.com and all of their social media platforms. So again, this is Tacos Now with Jay and Jeff. Woo! Boys, how are we doing?
Wow, dude, the production value went through the roof. That was awesome.
Yeah, I was getting hungry, and Jay is on the road, okay? So he might not have a taco. I actually have a delicious street taco.
Oh, I do not.
Then I'm watching the taco intro, and they're making the tacos. I'm going, oh, wow.
That was awesome, Brandon. That's the first time I've seen it. I was impressed. I was like, what are we doing here? Dan's gonna think we're at a cooking show or something.
Hey man, we got to step up our game over here. This is Tacos Now. This isn't tacos in the past. We're moving forward, baby.
That was Tacos AF is what that was.
That is fantastic.
All right. I got carried away.
For the gram, you guys know we do a tacos up. So I know Jay is on the road. I'm interested to see what he's able to produce for a taco.
Zip. I've got nada. I've got nothing.
That's all right. Look at Dan.
Look at you, Dan. Come on.
I don't know if you can see that well, but yeah, I took the tacos thing literally and deliciously. I went to a place around the corner. It was called Angelica's, and I got these tacos. I haven't had a good taco lunch in a long time, and you guys got me to that point already. So I'm glad to know, no matter how disastrously this segment goes, at the end of it, I've got these tacos, and I'm gonna have my lunch. And
yeah, so good, Dan. Good for
that
you,
is
man.
Fantastic.
I'm
you guys,
I'm really jealous, Dan. This is not cool. Me without a taco, that's like, I feel homeless. I feel ashamed.
I feel for you being on the road and you're deprived of your tacos, Jay.
I know you're a little disappointed, Brandon, but I'm in Orange County somewhere, Florida, the greater Orange County.
Not the LA area, Orange County.
No, the other coast, Florida. Can't you tell? Look, I'm wearing my Florida wear.
Oh, there it is.
I'm at a convention where we're focusing on fresh ideas.
There it is. Speaking of fresh, we're going to get into some fresh content here. I am going to drop off of the screen and load up some slides that Jay has done, and I will let Jay and Jeff take this over. Boys, I will be here. If you need anything, let me know, but here
we go. He cut himself off. Well, first of all, let's get a proper introduction. Thank you, Dan. Dan Gordon from Dan Gordon Printing. You are our guest, and we're thrilled to have you. So as you can see, we've got this amazing logo, Dan. But before we dive in on that, what should we know about you, Dan? It looks like you've been around the block for more than a day or two.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. This is really fun. I'm excited. Yeah, I think that my origin story kind of ties into the logo that you're showing here. I got into this business about 10 years ago. A friend and I decided to start up a little t-shirt line. We're going to work with friends that are designers. We're going to make some shirts and sell them. And it was fun. It was BQ t-shirts, Brooklyn Queens tees, we called it. We had some fun. We learned a lot. We sold a few shirts, so not a ton of shirts. But I started, where the market was developing for me was once people started finding out that I was a guy who made t-shirts and could get t-shirts made, they wanted their own artwork, their own logos, and their own t-shirts. And so I started getting into that side of the business. After a couple of years, we decided to wind down the t-shirt business, the t-shirt line. My friend Frank went back to his copywriting career, and I wanted to keep going with this custom printed apparel thing that I was having some success with. And so, I needed to file paperwork to start this new business. I didn't put a ton of thought into what to call it. Dan Gordon Printing. I didn't, come up with a clever name. I think it would have felt a little too grandiose to have like some big name. I identified at that time as a self-employed person who could be your consultant to get shirts, tote bags, hoodies printed, whatever it was, sort of your concierge for getting that stuff made.
The concierge, I like that.
So it was very much Dan. That was me. So I had a guy who was a customer and a designer. He designed a really cool T-shirt for one of my customers. He had on his blog this series of artwork he had done, illustrations, geometric patterns, and things like that. And I said, I got this event coming up. I want to make some business cards. Can I license one of these little designs and use it in my logo? And he was like, yeah, what do you want to use? Give me $60 and go have a blast. And so that's how I ended up with the triangles, added the lettering.
I love it. I think it's cool, Dan, because here's what it thought of. I thought of like angular, I thought of motion pointing arrows, I thought of registration marks. Those were some of the things that came to my mind. So listen, Dan Gordon Printing, whether it's your name or whether it's just an original, I mean, people get to know it's you. I think there's a place for that, whether you're a solopreneur or whether you're a company of, 25 or more. There's no disrespect in having your name in the brand. There could be some other potential issues, but obviously it looks great. I mean, right, Jeff? What do you think?
I love it. It's clean.
I love the origin story.
And I love that you use the word concierge. Ultimately, like I went down a similar road, and as a decorator that got into promo, it really opened up my eyes. So we've been down the same road. All of a sudden, it's like, oh my gosh, there's this whole other world of opportunity. It goes beyond apparel. Of course, apparel is still a big factor in our promo business, but I get the road, and I get the idea. You want to be the concierge, you want to be the consultant, you want to be the person who can help people with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Not only that, but Dan, I was able to snoop around your website, which you have a great website, by the way. And I just love the fact that you have your brand, your merch. Thank you for using the word brand and the word merch. I think words matter. And I was at a conference this morning, as I said, and trying to help people understand. Thanks to my good friend and marketing mentor, Bobby Lehue, who was talking about the importance of the words we say and how much has transitioned and changed. So to say we're in promotional products is almost passé, and using the word swag, I'm not against it, but it can be also a sign of the time. So I love merch, branded merch. Love this cover. I would call it your homepage, but it's good work, man. Good stuff. I don't know if that's something you designed or you had somebody do it for you.
Yeah, that's one that I worked with a design agency here in Brooklyn last year to get that site developed. It was a lot of fun, and I've always been delighted with what they came up with and where we ended up. And
I love that.
I
got a compliment. Sorry to jump over you. I just want to say the fact that you used a professional designer, professional web designer, somebody who's got those skills, it shows. I'm just going to say it. It shows. I mean, had I done it, it'd have been a mess and it looked like a hack did it, So good on you, man.
I had tried it that way previously.
We all have.
I learned some WordPress and I put together this thing, and it sure did look like a hack job. I thought of it as a placeholder for a while. There was just a night and day difference between, turning this over to professionals and just seeing the difference has been eye-opening.
Jeff, that might be one of our takeaways for this show is turning it over to the professionals. And we need to position ourselves as those professionals for our buyers, because, I mean, the fact of the matter is, we're competing against a lot of pressure, a lot of outside websites, the 4imprints of the world. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, what I want to say about this website thing, and I'm hedging because I don't want to be offensive to anybody or any platform and everything that's out there. But I feel that I need to say this because we're talking about this personalized touch that Dan and a designer has put on the website, and I just think that's really, really important. I do think the service providers that provide those back-end databases that we all need are great. And what we had done with our site, and when we were more active as a distributor, we did have a site like that, and then we went to those resources for back end. But that website, the front end, you don't really want to look like the next guy, the same guy, the clone. And so I think the source parts that have the back end, it's great. And I mean, I hope I'm not getting in trouble. I'm just saying what we're talking about. This is the face of your business, Dan, and the way you have that, the simple text that, you're telling your brand story, not a generic story of a promo stuff seller. Am I wrong? Am I going to get in trouble, Jay?
I don't think
Brandon's going to come over. I don't know.
No. I think your point is well made, and I think Dan and his team, the designer, have done a great job of emphasizing. I mean, first of all, details matter. Little things are important. So Dan, when I saw all those registration marks and the color bar, I was like, okay, this is a guy that gets printing. He's more than just product. He has a print background, or he is in print, or their firm is a design agency that understands registration, CMYK, color models, etc. So it stands out. That's the point, is it's different. It's not like everybody else. And that's why I loved it. Your tagline, whether that's a positioning statement or a marketing statement, your brand is the message, merchandise is our medium. That's powerful stuff, Dan. Good work.
Right, and so I think for our audience, the lessons, always kind of coming back to what's the takeaway, and the takeaway is like, use this website to tell your story, and that's exactly what you're doing in a very it's just really clean, very simple, like it.
We love it. We're fans, Dan. Well,
Thank you.
See? It's so good. You got a call. I put that website up, and people are already calling you for more biz. Gotta love that. It's meant to be. All right. Well, let's keep moving through some slides. Dan, thank you for sending some of the assets that you sent over. There were a lot, and I chose a few. I selected a few. I chose a couple to highlight. So I hope you'll tell us a little bit about the story, the backstory. You don't have to be too specific on the customer side. We're not really interested on that, but the application, the problem that you solved or helped solve, how this program was executed. So this one really caught my eye. This whole lineup of I guess the customer was Nimbus. Maybe you could tell us a little bit more about this. And it seems, correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, but it seems like you may have mastered the what's inside the box.
Yeah, this customer. This is a longtime customer, and this was their holiday gifting program for Q4 here of 2021, and this was one of the big projects that came in for me around that time, that required that all of the gifts be kitted, boxed up, packaged up, and then sent off to all of the recipients. And I think that was part of the story of these projects. And we talked a little bit. I think we have a theme developing here. So you talked about leaving it to the professionals. I did not leave the kitting and the fulfillment here to the professionals. I didn't, as these jobs were coming in, it was getting kind of close to holiday. I didn't have an existing relationship with a logistics provider who was doing fulfillment at this sort of like mid-level scale. And so I said, well, I could do it. I said, I basically agree that I would do it from here. And I spent a lot of late nights in the early part of December, taking items out of these boxes. I got all the goods here. We live here in Brooklyn. We're fortunate to have a good amount of space, but we didn't have space. I had like 60 or 70 boxes of goods at one point, and shipping materials and all of this. So that was basically the project. Getting everything made was the easy part. That the customer what they wanted. We had some really nice conversations about options and products, and we did some sampling, out in September and October. So it wasn't a big deal to get everything made in time. But I learned a lot going through this exercise of staying up late, packaging boxes, taping them up, and putting the labels on them, and having UPS pick up every day. And what I learned is that I never want to do that again. I want to leave that in the future to the professionals. I'm talking now with a fulfillment company who we can work with to set up these types of programs and get me out of that, because this isn't the work that I'm good at. That's not the fulfillment, isn't the work I particularly want to be doing, and that's something that should absolutely be left to the professionals. And so when you ask me about some work that might be good, that is sort of the story of those.
That's a great story.
Programs.
That's a great story. I'm glad you shared that, and thank you for being transparent and vulnerable and saying, listen, I was willing to do it, but learned through the process that I'm probably not the perfect person for this job moving forward. And so I get that. I'll typically jump in on something and then realize, yeah, I shouldn't have said yes to this.
And I don't know what I don't think I would have done anything differently in November and December. I think that the play would have been to have everything ready to go over the summer in anticipation of holiday hitting and needing to be able to provide these types of services economically and well. In the last 2 years, it's been really hard to predict what fourth quarter is going to look like and what customers are going to be requesting and wanting help with, and how you're going to execute and fulfill some of those programs. So it was a learning experience, I think, an inspiring and a really good growth moment for me, realizing like that's what I'm working on now. Now it's February of 2022, and I've had a lot of time to think. As I was packing all those boxes, I had a lot of time to think, because it's fairly mindless. And so to think about the type of business owner that I want to be and what I want this business to grow into, where I'm not the one-man show who is doing that work on top of all of the other parts of the.
I love that. I love that. Jeff, he's sitting here sharing his introspective while packing up and being the fulfillment. I mean, listen, we've all been there, right, Jeff? When an important client or your best client says jump, you basically say how high, right? So.
Exactly. You are here, and I want to go back. You're that concierge. You are here to take care of everything. Like, what do you need? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to take your business? Not the concierge, like, get me into a show, but how can I help you build your business? I love that word. We haven't had that word come up before.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. Dan's from the East Coast. He's got that, that Brooklyn vibe to him, where he's pulling up in his Bentley and going to throw the keys at the. No, I'm kidding, Dan. Listen. Okay, next slide is a different project, right?
Different project, same time frame, same overall story. I love working with this customer, the Madwell. They're a design and a digital marketing agency here in Brooklyn. I've done these holiday gifts for them for 5 or 6 years. They come up with this great arc, very design forward, and they do a sweatshirt and or sweatpants. This year we've got this fun beanie here. We've got this croissant theme. Okay,
I wanted to ask you about that, because I was like, I think they're either an engineering firm or a design firm, but the theme made me think that they were like a baker, or that they were doing something with croissants or bread. Did I miss that, or is that right?
Well, that's the creative that their excellent design team came up with. They moved into a new office space this year, and the space is a former commercial bakery, I believe, and that was the inspiration for this artwork.
Cool. I love that they tied that in.
That is very cool.
Yeah, and by the way, your attention to detail with the little stickers on the outside of the packaging, I had to highlight that. Little things are big things. And if I'm a recipient, and whether it comes in a box or whether it comes in a bag, if I see that logo, it immediately starts to tell me a story. I get excited about it. I trust it. I know where it's coming from. And so, I mean, I'm sure you did that on purpose, but I had to give it a shout out.
Yep, for the reasons that you mentioned. And then it's also just a very economical alternative to printing all over on the inside and the outside of the box in full colors. That's that changes the budget a lot. So yeah, it was a pretty tidy looking package at the end.
Love that. Well, good work, my friend. I would definitely wear those hoodies and that sweatshirt and that beanie, and I think it's fun to have a playful take on our logos, and I think that's a really big opportunity that's often missed. So maybe I could drop a little wisdom there, Jeff. I know that's normally your job, but this has been something that's helped me over the years, and it looks like Dan's tapped into that, where if you have the right client base and you provide these types of services, you can create a theme around their logo which could then inspire a whole new wave of product, of ideas, of packaging, whether it's kitting and shipping or not, but just the idea of that theme. So like a concierge theme or a resort theme, or in this case, a classic, vintage bakery that they wanted to tap in on. And so you could play on that, we're baking up the good stuff. I think there was even some messaging in that t-shirt that said something about, adding, building the bread, or it's hard to see, and sorry that it's a little challenging there, but it seemed like there was some text in there where they're playing on the fact that this is a bakery. And so I just think we have to be a little more creative and push ourselves past the logos on stuff and get back into themes like this. Jeff, if I showed this to you and you did not know, would you know what conference I'm at? Like what group this represents?
Nope.
Exactly. Which is why I wore it. You and I both know where I am, but
Yep.
I think this is where we need to play. And Dan, maybe you could comment on that as our special guest. Are you seeing that with your customers? The idea of the theme and the positioning being as important as the logo, or what are you seeing?
Yeah, I think that I think the artwork can be better than the logo in a lot of cases. I think that logo merch makes for great marketing items, but if you're talking about giving a gift, I don't know if people want to receive marketing items for gift. I think that when it's just your logo on it, that there's a great use for that. Absolutely, a lot of times in a lot of places for that. I think that if you want to do something for gifting, I think that when customers want to do something that they want to bring to retail, then I think that using the creativity that they have, and I think that investing in the graphic design, the illustration, the original artwork, so that artwork can stand alone as just something that looks great, makes people feel a certain way, outside of it being just, logo merch. I think there's a ton of value there. I think there's a ton of opportunity there. I also feel like, I don't know how much of it is just that I've only been doing this for a few years and how much of it is that the industry has changed in that time, but I feel like product has just exploded, in my experience. Maybe it, part of it is that I've gotten a little bit better about sourcing it, but it seems like the product piece is just like solved. We can make anything for customers physically, and so I think that it makes sense that there's a logical next step there, which is to step up the graphic design that's going into the artwork to expand what that line of brand merch looks like, other than things that have a logo on them.
I love that. And before I turn it back over to Jeff, I just want to say this because I know Brandon will appreciate this. Brandon, Taylor says hello. So Taylor Borst, American Solutions for Business, that's where I am right now, is at their conference, the ASB conference. And Taylor wanted me to tell you hello because Taylor was a past guest, and I guess she's friends with you. I have no idea why, Brandon, but anyway.
Everybody's friends with Taylor and everybody's friends with Brandon. And somehow the taco show is.
You're like the younger, hipper, cooler than us kids.
Yeah, all the younger, hipper, cool people, and they only tolerate us because I don't know tacos.
Tacos. We have
a theme.
We do have a theme. That's true. All right. Well, I've got a couple more slides to share, and this one it falls in line with that theme, Dan, because honestly, I don't know who the customer is. And I love that. I love the fact that there's a message, some form of inspiration, some fresh angle, something to tie in that I actually want to wear and keep, not because it has a tacos logo on it, but because of the messaging or because of the memory of where I was when I got that merch. So just loved it. More free time, something we all can connect with. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this? What's the story with this, Dan?
This customer is in hospitality and the great outdoors, and this was a jacket that they chose to use for an employee holiday gift. They sent them out. We sent them out to everybody. And again, it's fun that these examples that you're showing here are all customers of mine who are already doing that original graphic design thing that we're talking about. I think that they're already there. They have figured that out. They're seeing the value in using original fresh artwork and doing everything differently. So yeah, this was another part of that of my Q4 of fulfillment and packaging. These guys, they had this great artwork. This is a champion jacket, so they went with a nice retail brand and a quality product with excellent design on it. And I know that their team loved them. They started off with a big order, and then as some people joined the organization later, joined after the first round of gifting, something like that, saw it and didn't have it, and so they came back. So we got to do some more. We got to make sure that everybody that's with us now that we're in January, now that we're into February, make sure that everybody that wasn't on that original list gets theirs as well. Really, really fun program. It was cool. We sent those off with a note card, a postcard with a thank you note from the CEO of the company. We added some tissue paper and made it look nice as coming out of the bag. And yeah, successful project.
Great job, Dan.
This has come up consistently on our shows, this idea of brand messaging over logos. And this is a great show that really drives that home. This idea of more free time. What type of business did you say? What type of business
hospitality? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yep. Short
term.
So
they're conveying this for
exactly.
That is their brand message. It's more free time, hospitality, and over just the logo. And there's always going to be a place for logos, of course. But I think this is fresh. The idea that it's not all that revolutionary that we can put brand messaging on products that drive home a specific theme. So that's not really new, but it's something that's worth reinforcing as we are moving into a new season where businesses are starting to now like, hey, okay, we're coming back. Life is coming back. So brand messaging effectively used on promo products as you're doing here is really, really great.
Love that. I love the shout out you gave, Dan, to the champion line, the champion gear. It's good stuff, highly recognizable to the marketplace as well. So your buyer and the audience that they're giving it to is going to connect with a quality statement when they see that champion logo on the sleeve or the tag or wherever.
And the jacket you did also was a brand, also high end in the other promotion. So that makes a statement as well.
Yeah.
Nice work, buddy. Look, Dan's crushing it. I don't know if you know this, Jeff. Dan's been crushing it. So
he thinks he's like this guy in Brooklyn, but he is a guy in Brooklyn, but he's also crushing it in Brooklyn. He's going to be driving around in that. He's not going to be like the truck slammer in his Bentley. He's just going to be the guy that's the concierge of promo for the Brooklyn community. I don't know. Okay, we're way off track.
Yeah, you're getting out on in the weeds on the little thin branches. But just so Brandon knows, Brandon, that was my last slide. And Dan, I love the work that you're doing. It's been a thrill to have you on. Is there anything that you'd like to share with our audience in terms of growth or advice or something that you've noticed, a trend maybe? I mean, anything at this point. I'll give you a final word before we turn it over to the man.
No, just I would say the other thing that I'm personally excited about is diving into a substantial self-promo marketing thing for myself. I've dabbled in a little bit of self-promo over the years, but never in like a real concerted fashion with a good strategy and this original professional design from my partner that worked on the website. I think that ties together a lot of what we're talking about here. We're leaving the key parts of it up to the professionals. That the merch in that box isn't going to have my logo all over. It's not going to have my name all over. Yeah. It's going to have just some really good design. And that's something that I'm excited about, just being able to get out there and do very direct marketing. It's a relatively small quantity going to those best customers and favorite prospects and some information about what we've done, some thank you for what we've done so far and what we could do in the future. And let's talk about, kind of onward and upward and trying new things together. I think that it's a fun way to be able to connect with the people that you're working with.
It is fun, and it is important to connect in that way. And I'm just going to give you another shout out. Sorry, we're bragging on you. We're fanboying on Dan Gordon Printing right now. But the reality is this, Dan, is that I love connecting with people like you. That there is a book called the E-Myth, E as in like, e-commerce, E-Myth Revisited, by a gentleman. I think his name is Daniel Gerber. I think his last name is
Michael Gerber, I think.
Michael Gerber. That's it. And he talked about this principle of working on your business versus working in your business. And this is a perfect example of you working on your business. It's like taking the time to think about, how am I presenting my best self and my brand? How is that being positioned? And is what I'm saying and the visuals I'm presenting, are those aligned? So tip of the cap and kudos to you, Dan Gordon, for being in that. And yeah, I don't know why. I just wanted to say I love it. Love the work you're doing. And we're proud to have you as a fan and as a guest. So thank you for joining us, Dan.
I love the work you guys are doing too. I love the show. It's been really fun talking to you about it.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy. All right. Well, Jeff, you usually drop the final word before we give it to Brandon.
I'll let Brandon drop the final word. But again, thanks, Dan, for being on the show. And okay, dude, I'll give a shout out. Okay, I'm wearing my SKUCon shirt, and I was. This is where we're finding the best guests. Okay, in this community, the forward-thinking people who get it, and so.
I didn't know you guys connected there. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, that's how we connected. recently at SKUCon and other. So we have great guests coming up, and we appreciate those who really do take their time to share what they're doing that's cool, and they're not. They don't feel so protective of it, or like, oh, this is my thing, don't steal my idea. Look, these are your clients, your ideas, your creativity. People will do their own, and our job on Tacos with Jay and Jeff is just to put that stuff out there to encourage and inspire our audience, in ways that work for them. So that's it. That is the last word, right?
There it is. That is a last word for sure.
Boom.
You guys, this has been a fantastic show. Thank you so much, Dan. Awesome job, man. I'm so glad that we got to meet again. I know that we actually met in SKUCon 2020 when I spoke there too. So yeah, shout out to this community, and safe travels back home, Jay.
Thank you.
Jeff. Keep crushing it out there in California, and Dan, keep that Brooklyn style up, man. You're doing a great job. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching Tacos Now here at Promo Corner, and we will see you next time.